This is Viewer Takeover. We film every Monday night, and then we bring it to YouTube every Tuesday morning, afternoon, nighttime, whatever. You guys know how things work around here without parole. Basically, I just do things whenever I have the time to do it, which is never. A lot of games coming out this week, a lot of reviews to take care of, a lot of ping pong to play. With me this week, all the way in the far, far, far side over there, the far side, Eric Larson's far side, is AJ from PSVR Underground, and this channel right here, Without Parole. AJ?
What it do, homie? So good to see my two best friends, looking dapper as ever, you two.
What it do?
And,
what it do?
And this guy here in the middle, I can only imagine how you follow that up. It's Dave from Dave Station VR. What's going on, dude?
I set the bar high.
I don't know what else to say besides what it do.
I heard you brought Drunk Plays back this week.
I did one.
Yeah.
By popular request, yes, I did one.
Yes, and free key.
You found what the people wanted, man.
Samurai Awakens. Polish Paul was kind enough to give me a free key just so I could do a drunk stream of Reborn Samurai Awakens. And I know we talk a lot of shit about Paul, but thanks, Paul.
Yeah, and for anyone who's not in on the joke, it's all in good fun. We love Paul. We love everybody, and that's that.
He likes it. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it anymore.
He gives it back to us too.
Oh yeah,
true.
We always roast each other in the Twitter chat. It's fine.
Yeah. All right, you guys, a few things to take care of this week. Obviously, Viewer Takeover, we always want to thank everybody involved. And the first people we want to thank are not just one, but two of the loyal Game Cats. Wow. And that's Belramio and or Seek, the Game Cats.
So badass that they both got to hang out. There's Game Cat meetups going on overseas.
Worldwide.
We've started a movement.
How awesome is that? We want to see more of this. Absolutely. And it was so great of them to film a stop motion animation video of all things.
Right.
Belramio he's just a creative dude. I mean, you saw his same with Orseek. Yeah. This is what happens when you get two creative Game Cats together and they make a Beat Saber Luigi's Mansion video.
A lot of jelly involved in that. A lot of jelly involved. What do you think? That's like $7 worth of jelly? It's a decent amount of jelly.
I think it's got to be Jello, and that's way cheaper, right? You can get the imitation Jello. If you ever made Jello shots, yeah. I think back in the day, I filled my entire refrigerator with like just neon Jello shots. You opened up the door, it's like $4 for the Jello and like $30 for the vodka.
How come I didn't hang out with you a few years ago?
I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't doing anything productive, I'll tell you that. So thank you guys very much for not only getting a European Game Cat meetup together and sharing pictures of all the places you went and all the awesome foods you ate at all the cool restaurants over on our Discord, which, by the way, join our Discord, link in the description. If you guys want to make a Viewer Takeover introduction, remember, it doesn't have to be that creative or complicated like these guys made it out to be. You can just turn the camera on yourself and say, hey, my name's AJ the Game Cat. And welcome to Viewer Takeover. We just want to see your face. That's all. You're lovely. Beautiful face. Without Parole, gmail.com.
Make it short, sweet, sensual, sexy, seductive. What do you say? All those words, the S words, right?
I love the S words. Yeah. But we also want to thank these people down here who went to patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
Knew it. We're never getting away from that. And they're so loyal. They're so awesome that they're giving us $1 or more every single month through patreon.com. And I got to tell you guys that really, 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 this is the one of the only ways we make money. We get a little bit of YouTube ad revenue, but most of my income comes from that. That's how the channel runs. So if you like this channel even a little bit, if we've made it part of your weekly routine at all, please consider heading over there. Just giving us $1 a month. We'd really, really appreciate it. I'm selling my video games to make this thing happen. So a little in returns. All we ask, show us how much you love us.
Got so many video games that he's
Brian.
selling. I've seen them with my eyes. It's insane how many video games he's got.
It's too many.
Brian.
Yes.
That's not the only people we want to thank now, is it?
Those are not the only person we want to thank.
It's not really the only people we want to thank. There's more people.
There are more people.
Okay.
There are plenty of people.
Hit me, AJ.
These are people. I'm hitting Dave. These are the people that took Beauty and the Decay's lead and changed their name to something Game Cat, something Game Cat, got creative with it, something Game Cat adjacent, as Brian likes to say. And we have two very special ones this week. And first up, we have K-Panic, the contagious zombie cat.
Wow.
He's getting ready for Contagion next week, I guess.
Yeah, so I got to say.
Or he just really likes zombies.
I know people are excited about Contagion, and obviously by the time this thing comes out, we may already all be playing it, depending on when I get this thing edited. just want to say, everyone, keep your expectations in check.
Yeah.
I've been saying it, and not in any kind of negative sense. It's like a 5-person dev team. We know that the PC one was a little on the janky side. And we just want to make sure that everyone isn't thinking that this is some Arizona Sunshine killer. So when you go into it, hopefully it'll be fun. But we don't want anyone to go, this is going to be a blockbuster masterpiece, crazy AAA. Just
I think most people know that.
I hope so.
They're just excited, man.
I hope,
We're all
excited.
I hope Cape Panic knows it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Cape Panic definitely knows it. Also, we have Matthew the Game Cat Luttrell.
Wow. And also, I just want to say sorry, Matthew the Game Cat Luttrell, because I thought when he originally changed his name, it was Matt the Game Cat, who, of course, is the OG original Matt, the original Game Cat, Beauty and the Decay.
Yeah.
And so when I saw him on I think AJ's live stream, I was like, hey, what's up, Matt? How's it going? And I didn't realize he was a different Matt who just changed his name. And because of that, he actually changed it to Matthew the Game Cat Luttrell. So we all knew exactly who he was. So thank you very, very much for the double name change to get
The
to this
OG.
point. Yeah.
The leader of the Game Cats himself.
The
Leader of the
leader
pack.
of the cats. Okay, so what we really do here on Viewer Takeover is make sure if you do change your name to GameCat, by the way, put hashtag GameCat, all one word, in the comments somewhere so we can find you nice and easy and give you a shout out on next week's show. But what we do here on Viewer Takeover is we search the comments, we search the Discord, and we look for the hashtag Viewer Takeover. Again, all one word. People asking comments, people stating questions, and we pick our favorites and then we answer them. Starting off with the GameCat intro himself, Bel Ramio from Discord. He writes, hashtag Viewer Takeover. Am I the only one who thinks that PSVR games are getting more expensive? Of course, we are asking to get more AAA games, but when I look, what we got a year ago is mostly $20 or $25 titles, and now it seems like it's closer to $30 to $40 range, mostly. And in some cases, they feel expensive. What are your thoughts? Do you think we'll have further increases until the majority of games are $50 to $60, like most flat games on release?
I have some thoughts.
Ooh.
I don't believe PSVR games are getting more expensive. I think there have always been pricing discrepancies, like Archangel, for instance, is the first one that pops into my head.
Yeah.
That was a $40 game when it came out.
Yeah.
And it's a great game, a very good game, but shouldn't have been $40.
It's a great $20 game, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. So we've always seen this thing where some games get priced a little or a lot too high for what they should be. But as we move towards stuff like Iron Man and those types of games, I do expect $50 to $60 price points for sure.
Yeah.
So, to Dave's point, I don't think there's an increase in games. I think there's a couple games that make a mistake of releasing a little bit too expensive. The most recently I can think of is Blindfold.
Blind Spot.
Wait, is it Blind Spot? Sorry.
$30,
We've gotten a lot of really good games this year. Zing came out at $20 and had a 15. Was actually 15 with the sale price. That was like a 10-hour game or so, maybe even 15. We had Witching Tower, which was really quality, and $20. LA Noire came out, which was $30, but also you can play for several hours. It's a Rockstar game and was really quality. So there's been, I can keep going. Spookies, $9.99. So it's been a little hit and miss. I think there isn't just an increase, like everything's just becoming more expensive. I think the AAA sweet spot is $40, and that's where it needs to stay. There were also games at launch that came out at $40. I'm pretty sure Drive Club VR was $40. Eve Valkyrie was $40. So if anything, I think the pricing has gotten better. And, I want to see more devs. I want to, the one thing I've always asked developers when I'm talking to them is, hey, do you want to sell less games at a higher price, or do you want to sell more games at a lower price and get that into more people's hands? So really up to them, man. And hopefully they get a feel for our community.
Yeah, I think the reason this question is coming up right now is I do think that there have been a few titles that, as you mentioned, Blind Spot already, but I mean, then there was No Way Out, which was, like a really underwhelming horror game that only lasted about an hour, maybe 90 minutes or something, and that was $20,
Yeah.
And so there, and then even Sin Studios, pretty awful new game, Warzone, $15, and Samurai Awakens, it's $15. Like, it just seems like, these are $5 games at best, that got this huge PlayStation VR tax, which is totally inexcusable. So
I think they tried to get. I think games like Warzone and Reborn Samurai are just trying to get whatever money they can,
Yeah.
and they're putting it at that kind of like price that's like, it kind of gets people's interest. But really, the truth is those games should not exist. So I don't even like to associate those games with being overpriced, because I don't even think those games are like finished.
Right. No, it's absolutely true. And here's the thing. He sort of dips into this a little bit with his question, but yeah, we do want games to get closer to the $50 or $60 range. He says a majority of games are $50 or $60 when they come out on flat screen. But man, if you look at the PlayStation Store for just regular PS4 games, they really, really explore that full breadth of the pricing structure. There's games anywhere from $5 to $60. Oh, absolutely.
Indie games are not $60.
Yeah.
So.
And with the studios that are making PlayStation VR games, there's certainly, most of them are not, AAA studios. They're smaller indie titles, and we should expect the games to be around, the $15 to $40 range. Hopefully we do see a price increase with a bunch of games across the board, as long as it reflects, the
content,
the content, the quality of the game, the production values behind it.
I feel like Blood and Truth for $40 is like the correct pricing scale for PSVR games, because that game is very polished, very AAA. But if it was longer, like Iron Man, and had potentially like multiplayer, like Iron Man might, that's a $60 game, and you just pay for it, and that's what it is. So I'm not worried about that. I think that'll be good.
Okay. And Iron Man is 40, right? That's the baseline price for it.
40 and then 50.
I was thinking about the season pass, I guess.
Yeah, deluxe edition's $49.99. It's $50, but that's like the deluxe edition with what was it? Science points, something.
Research points.
Isn't there a thing
12
about like
research points?
But just to put your mind at ease a little bit, Carly and the Reaper Men is a 10-hour game. That's $20. Minotaur Arcade, which is Jeff Minter's game, $14.99. Bonfire of Short Experience was only $5. And so we've gotten lots of good things at some pretty good prices that people need to take advantage of for sure.
Yeah, no, we pointed out some of the ones that seemed way off, but there's been plenty recently
from this year too. Yeah. This was like the ones I just named were like just within the last month alone. So yeah,
and just to to follow up a little bit on last week's conversation, I know that we had been talking a little bit about Audica, and I think a lot of people are looking at Audica saying it's only $20 on Steam. Why is it $30 on PlayStation VR? And then we said the same thing about Beat Saber at launch too, because it was $20 on Steam. What you guys have to remember is that those games or when they came to PSVR on Steam, they were still in early access, and so there was a $10 price discrepancy, because when they came out of early access, or when Audica comes out of early access, it will be full price $30.
It also had 8 songs. Audica did.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, and that's what early access does, right? You get 8 songs, and then they gradually add more to the library. That's what early access is all about. You pay a little bit less to get the game, but you don't really get the whole game, and then eventually over time you do, and that's why you pay less up front, because it's not really complete yet. We got more of a complete game over here on PlayStation VR. Same with Beat Saber.
They don't do early access for PlayStation, so
which is a shame, and I think that Sony needs to be looking into that, because Xbox did it this generation. I don't know how successful it's been, but we really do need a program like that for people to jump in early, be the beta testers, so that when the game finally comes out, for like its final release, there's no excuse for poor controls. There's no excuse for only having click turning. There's no excuse for any of those things that we complain about, because people have been playing it and complaining about it for months. We
totally happy with that. I really hope that was something I was thinking about next gen for PS5, is opening up to early access for VR games and stuff. All right, so the next question comes from K Panic, the contagious zombie cat, and he says, this actually comes from one of the other viewer takeover.
AJ, do you think that if you change your name to GameCat, or if you do a viewer takeover introduction, you have more likely of a chance of getting your question on viewer takeover based on the first 2?
Absolutely.
Okay, because it seems to be that way based on today's show.
You get special treatment for sure. And he says hashtag viewer takeover. No, not really. Hashtag GameCat. Do you guys think there's a sales threshold for a game like Contagion has to hit in order for that chapter and multiplayer DLC to actually come to fruition from a developer? Definitely important to support a developer by getting the word out if it's great, so people buy it and gives more reason for the developer to continue updating it. P.S. This is not sponsored by Contagion, nor am I an employee or relative of its developers, and I haven't even played to know it's any good. Maybe a total dirty litter box. I don't believe you, Kate Panic. You're totally bought and paid for.
Yeah, this message has been paid for by Monochrome
Corporate
Incorporated.
shills. Fucking corporate shills.
So the first thing I think is that I mean, they said nothing's off the table, right? They basically said, we want to do aim support. We want to do multiplayer. There's a lot of things we'd like to do, but they haven't said any of that's coming. The only thing they've confirmed is saying, hey, we didn't finish Mission 4 before the PlayStation VR release. When we do, we'll get that in there. That's the only real promise it seems like they've made. So I just wanted to get that out in the open right away. What do you guys think about the sales threshold?
Well, I think there is a certain point that, they have to be able to make money. I watched this unfortunately happen to Prada, which I wanted to see. That game came out and it was supposed to kind of, they had this online model similar to like an MMO. And their idea was people are going to buy the game. They're going to continue to play it, give feedback, and they're going to make changes along the way. Well, unfortunately, they didn't make that money back. And this isn't completely because of the game just didn't sell well. This also had to do with the way they decided to fund that game, that it ended up going under. Yes, it does matter that a game gets some love and support, because otherwise, why would they risk the rest of their company to going under if nobody has any interest anyways? So, I do think it's important that we support, developers and stuff as much as possible. And it certainly helps that they have a cheaper price model, like we were saying before.
The one thing that I'm thinking here is that a lot of developers do it the opposite way, where they don't wait for sales to add stuff. They aren't getting good sales, so they add more stuff, hoping to get a sale. Because the PSVR community will be like, oh, okay, you updated it. You added new control options. You added smooth turning, you added this mode, whatever. And so it's like a way to recoup your investment by patching in some stuff and saying, hey guys, now it's worth buying. Go out there and talk about it and buy it. I don't think I've seen many developers who get their money and then immediately just put it back into adding or fixing into the game. I think it's usually the other way around. It's like a kind of panic response. Like, oh God, we're not selling any. We sold 20 copies. Like, what do we do? Yeah. Let's add some stuff to it.
I do think it's really awesome when developers listen. That's something you get with a lot of these independent developers, is that you get them listening to feedback and actually making these changes. I think that's pretty amazing. That's something that a lot of AAA companies, they completely ignore their fan base and just, try to just take all the money they can from them in every single way. And so I think that's one thing I love being a part of this movement, this community, this upbringing of VR, because we get to experience developers actually giving a shit about making the people happy instead of just trying to make as much money as possible.
Well, I mean, part of it is what I said, though. Like, making people happy is one thing, but making people convinced that they should actually buy your game.
Well,
if it released in a state where you didn't get that response. Like, for instance, I'll say Saber. They're not adding new stuff because they sold so many copies. They're adding new stuff because nobody bought it, and they're trying to get they're trying to sell it. And so it's nice for the community, but it's also sort of a self-preservation thing. Like, you have to make it an attractive package for people.
Yeah.
So
what a lot of people don't realize is, I see people get very, very angry, very publicly, very frequently online at developers. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is that there's only so much, when people are funding a project themselves, it's not, they don't have the backing of Sony or some like big AAA publisher. When they're backing a project themselves, at a certain point, they just have to ship the product. Otherwise, their company goes under and we never see that game. There's usually a deadline for a reason. We can't afford to keep paying people beyond this point, and so we got to kind of push it out the door, and then we'll unfortunately maybe have to patch it after the fact. And I'm not saying that's an excuse by any stretch. I never want to give the developers an excuse and say, well, you shipped a crappy product with the promise to ship it later because you needed money. Like, there are many other ways to make money. There's Kickstarters, there's GoFundMe, there's other ways to support your project. But this does happen very frequently. And the other thing people have to realize is that if a game doesn't sell well, especially from a small indie studio, that could be the end of the studio.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so support the projects you like. And again, I think Sony would be very, very wise to bring an early access program next generation to help small studios like this get the money early with that understanding, saying, hey, we didn't ship our game early technically. We brought it into early access early so we could get some money to keep working on it and to give you all the features that you've been asking for.
Brilliant.
Whenever I see Dave reach forward to turn on his microphone, I'm like waiting for the words of wisdom. I'm like, what's he going to say?
I had nothing to say that time. I was just getting ready for the next question.
Ooh, the next question time. Let's do it, man.
Yeah.
You're up, Asia.
Okay, this comes from... No, it's me.
I know, you're up, Asia.
Asia did the last... Asia?
You're Asia. Europe, Asia.
Europe, Asia. Okay, fair enough. Eurasia.
That's some old school Midnight Gamescast shit for anybody not paying attention.
I can always tell Dave has never watched this channel once.
Yeah, no, I've never seen this.
It was a running joke for years.
He doesn't even know what channel.
Not sure why I'm on here.
He's like, I'm on YouTube somewhere.
Dave, you're on here because
is this Polish
we
Paul?
love you.
Am I on Paul's channel? Okay, so this comes from Maverick, and this one is actually from the hashtag Ask Dave section of the Discord.
I was desperate this week. I went searching.
Everyone should go leave me questions there. So Maverick says, Dave Station VR, I just had an idea. What if Brian Paul, Godcannon, and Jeremy and you, 4 of us, squad up against 4 other Game Cats on Firewall? Would be an amazing event. Call it Game Cats versus Gamecast. I like this idea a lot. I know Jeremy is really probably not good at Firewall.
Probably not.
Probably very bad at Firewall.
Based on the live stream I saw.
They would totally kick our asses is what would happen.
Well, so we have to find Game Cats who haven't played every day for the past month or two. Because there's a lot of people who play Firewall every single day. And I don't want to play against those people because they'll kill us. I'd like it to be a little bit competitive.
Delirium True.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So it would be a lot of fun, and I think we should do that. And obviously live stream it and the whole thing. But
I really don't care who it is. I would love to play against all the Game Cats. I don't want to leave anybody out. You know, anybody that has Firewall, anybody that plays Firewall. There's a whole group of great people that play every single night almost. And yeah, I would have so much fun doing that. Doesn't matter.
AJ says, I don't care who we play against because he kicks ass at Firewall.
Well, he's actually good, but what he's not realizing is that me, you, and Jeremy are going to be dragging the team down the whole time.
This is very
Doesn't
true.
matter. It'd still be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But our conversations would be awesome. Just the 4 of us. And I think
I would love to be on a team with Jeremy. Just conversation wise, like Jeremy is one of the best people to have a conversation with, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, 100%. And if, I would love to find a way to, to reformat the show and find a way for the 4 of us to be able to do the show together. Because, there's nothing like getting distracted from every single question every 5 minutes. I will say it's kind of funny that Maverick tagged you, he tagged me, he tagged AJ, and then he said, and Jeremy. No one knows Jeremy's. Jeremy's not active enough on the Discord, right?
I have rabies.
Is he? I have rabies there too.
He's I have rabies.
Yes.
Okay, because I know
he's not like super active on there though, but.
Right. Because I know that
I like his other.
It's his PSN name.
His other name, I think Twitter is all names taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Pretty funny.
I forced him to get a Twitter account. He refused to get a Facebook account when he joined the channel. I was like, dude, you need some form of social media. And he goes, I'm not getting a Facebook. He's like, I will do anything else you ask. I refuse to get a Facebook account. And then he got Twitter for me. I was like, that's fine. Twitter, he got that for me specifically, and I appreciate that.
Maybe the next big update, the next big map that comes out, we'll get a private match and we'll squad up and go us versus the Game Cats. And have some fun. Just replay that new map, show it off, new weapons and stuff.
Nice, because there should be a new map during the mid-season update for Firewall, right? There was the Prepper map, and then there should be... Do we know what the next map is yet?
Not yet. Nope.
No. All right. Well, that sounds like an excellent plan. I love planning these things, and by the time it rolls around, I go, "Oh God, I'm not prepared at all. I haven't played Firewall in 7 months."
I completely forgot I planned this.
Yeah, because in the planning stages, I go, "I'm going to play Firewall for an hour every single day, and I'm going to get really, really good." And blah 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 blah. And then by the time it rolls around, I'm like, "I totally forgot about this entirely." Okay. All right, you guys, I think that's going to do it for another episode of Viewer Takeover. Thank you very, very much to all the cats who submitted questions. Thank you to all the cats who support us on Patreon. Remember to put your hashtag Viewer Takeover either in the comments below or in the Discord server. Join our Discord server. Also, don't forget about the 2020 Game Cat meetup. Can't get enough of that.
We're
2020
going to Atlanta.
Yeah,
Going to Atlanta. We're all staying in AJ's basement.
yeah. I just talked to Reggie from Strange Games too. He's totally down to be part of this, which is awesome because he's right down the road from AJ. But that's so far away. Make sure the thing you should be focusing on right now is PAX East 2020. I believe that's in February. So make sure you get your tickets now because they do tend to sell out fast. I'm going to be there all weekend.
Don't get sick this time.
I will not get sick this time. I will not. I will not. I will tell my body to fight off illnesses ahead of time. We'll take care of it. Me and the body.
Just for the people who don't know, like me, where is PAX East?
Boston.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Boston. Okay. And I think that pretty much does it. Thank you very, very much again for everyone hanging out. Thank you to everyone in the comments. Thank you to everybody watching. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Dave. My name's Brian. This is Viewer Takeover, and we're out.
Ooh, you got an extra mustache to put on over your mustache? Oh, you got a double mustache? What is that? That's a piece of tape.
Get in the game. Get ready to play some VR.
There you go.
A nasal strip?
I feel like that would help you
passages?
with snoring, right? Is that for snoring?
You have sleep apnea?
Right?
I probably do.
I think I have sleep apnea.
You know what? Yeah. You should do what I did. It might not help, but I'm feeling good about it. I bought a new pillow. And it's nice having a new pillow, I'll tell you that. You get to choose exactly what you want. It's like, you know how you're in a hotel and you pick which pillow you really like the best?
I use all fucking 6 of the pillows.
Okay, well, but there's one that you really like the best. And so I bought that for myself. And I'm loving it. I'm having
bought a hotel pillow?
It's as good as a hotel pillow. Yeah, it's
You're like, you went down to the lobby, you're like, can I buy this from you guys? I really like it.
Honestly, I've been at restaurants. I've been at restaurants where they have a good hot sauce that's like a house-made hot sauce, and I'm like, can you give me a bottle of this and I'll pay you for it? So like, it's within the realm of possibility. Yes.
When I sleep, I have so many pillows. I think I have like 7 or 8 pillows in my bed, and they're all like they're dense too. Like they're not like the soft, fluffy ones. They're like, man, they got some heft to them, and I kind of line them up so that like I'm sort of snuggling with them.
Feels like you're with a person, right?
There's like 3 like in front of me and 3 behind me to the point where
loneliness. It's like you've got 2 people sleeping next to you.
It's sort of to the point where I feel like if I ever get into another relationship, I'm actually going to need to be with 2 people to sleep properly. I don't know. Is that the outro?
I'm sure you can manage that.
Is that the outro? I don't know.
That's the outro.
All right. That was the outro.